Got 5, 16, 19, 21, 33, and 10. Check results. You remember?
Elon Musk takes up too much of my oxygen, I guess, or is it? What am I using to say his name? It's oxygen, and I'm putting out carbon dioxide. Whatever it is, he's a smarter man, apparently. Wait, no, I did the what are they called, air quotes on the wrong word. Sorry, I'll do that again. He's a smarter man. There we go. Apparently. Anyway, so he'll know. But yeah, I just wait. Like, what was it I was saying the other day, which was like 2 days ago? Oh, his like GTA thing when he's like, I can't kill police officers in GTA. It freaks me out when I can't do it. These people protect us or whatever he was saying. I don't know. And then this thing I did see, but I kind of just didn't mention. He was like, he was on like a panel thing where like people in front of him, just being his cringy self. I can't remember what he was talking. Oh, it was talking about advertisers pulling out of X. There, I called it what you want me to. You happy? Pulling out of X, formerly known as Twitter, because sometimes you open up the app and it's just somebody getting assassinated. I remember the first time I saw wild shit on Twitter, and I was just watching it with such like a blank face. I was just like, oh wow, this guy. This is like CCTV footage of this guy just walking into. By the way, so many people in America have CCTV footage inside their homes, which I think is weird. Like a doorbell cam, but they have them in their houses. Anyway, it's like, oh, this is footage of like a guy walking into like someone else's, inside this girl's bedroom. Oh, now he's stabbing her. 40, like multiple times. Oh wow, what's this for? And I'm like, wait, was that real? Like that was the realization of the first time. I don't know when this was. This was years and years ago, right? And then like you never ask for it, you just see it. And then all of a sudden you see people falling off roller coasters to their death, or you see people getting kicked in the head or run over by buses or whatever. Just like, dumb ways to die, a billion different ways. So and then it's like all of a sudden, sometimes Twitter just goes through like, it's like, oh, I'm in my death era. You're gonna see a lot of that right now. Get used to it and just see it. And you're like, oh no, 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 no. So maybe that, or maybe just because the app's kind of like toxic in general. I don't know, but people are pulling out of it, and maybe they don't think it's that profitable anymore. And he was like, if people want to do that, cool. Fuck you. And then like the crowd the crowd kind of just quiet like, and he said it again, but this time I think he double birded and fuck you. And then he kind of got a couple more cheers. And then he said like, hey mom, if you're watching, because he just swore or whatever, I guess. And it was just like, there's this is really specific TikToks I always see, which I always reference. I'm not sure if other people have seen them, but it's this guy, and usually the kind I see on is called like cringe something, and I'm pretty sure they're on purpose, like to be cringy or whatever, but maybe they're not. I don't know. But like there are these TikToks of this guy, this kid, I guess, because most of them are like POV or in school type thing, and like he'll be basically, it's like POV, you have charisma. Is the subtext of what they are basically are, and it's like you're in class, the teacher asks, and it's none of this is said. It's all just text that comes up on screen while music's playing, and it's like you're in class, the teacher asks you a question, you think to yourself, should I tell this funny joke? You muster up the courage. You tell the joke, and it's something so cringe and lame. The entire class laughs. You dab at them. They dab back, and then they ask you what's your Fortnite PSN and or whatever. I don't know. And it's stuff like that, and it's like Elon Musk just gives off that vibe. Like POV, you're in there. Should I say this thing? I say it. I pause. Everyone laughs, and it's just like that's just how the inside of his brain works. And again, this will make no sense if you've seen the TikToks. Apply basically, if that was enough of a description for you to remember what I'm talking about, apply that to Elon Musk and it just makes so much sense. But that wasn't the worst part of it. This was basically the clip where like Elon's he's trying to like, okay, let's cut the bullshit for a minute. Let me level with you. I'm here because you're a close friend, Jonathan. What was my like? I can't remember what the word is, but like when they appearance fee is effectively what he said or whatever. Like he was like, I did this for free. He's like, I'm a good guy. We're friends. I'm doing you a favor, Jonathan. And the guy was like, just paused looking at him, and he was like, yeah, firstly, my name's Andrew. And then Elon's like, oh, fuck me. He's just like, oh, he like, I felt like with Elon Musk, right? The reaction he gave me kind of told me that, firstly, not only did he have, like, obviously, if you forget people's names, that's fine. But it's more like the going into it with the like trying to present yourself. I'm doing this, Jonathan, because you're a friend. Like, how much did you that was I paid to be here? Nothing. I'm doing this because you're my mate. But then it's like obviously you don't know his name, so how close? That's the issue with it, right? But not only does it tell me that in this scenario, it kind of tells me that I could, or anyone, someone really close to Elon Musk, right? He could say their name to them, like his nephew Jack, or like, someone that close, and then that's a made up person, and Jack, this individual, could be like, my name's not Jack, and even if it was Jack, he would just be like, oh, sorry, what's it again? Like he would just believe it, like he doesn't really know, like you know what I mean? Like what I'm trying to say is, firstly, this has happened before, and secondly, he's just very much. It's Elon, and I'm on my plane, and everyone else is like, oh, these are things that aren't matter. I mean, to be honest, actually, with his children, it would actually be the fairest time where he could forget their names, because their names are just random assortments of letters that represent stars or some bullshit. I don't know. His kids are called like X dash. So if like he couldn't remember those names, fine, or how to spell them at least, because I don't think you say the names like that. I think they're said like a word would be said, but even though they're your children, I guess fine, because why the fuck do you name them that? But like just opening up something like that, like where's the fucking if most people, if they're not sure, would like they just wouldn't say it. Like, oh, was it John or James? And at least those are close. Jonathan isn't even close to Andrew at all. Jonathan, 3 syllables. Andrew, 2 syllables. One begins with J, one begins with A. Those are the obvious differences there. There's probably a lot more. They're not alike. Maybe he looks like a Jonathan, or like another person he's met called Jonathan. I don't know, but ultimately, his name wasn't Jonathan. I'm surprised I even remember it. You know what I mean? And I get it, you meet a lot of people, but that's not the point. It's not the point about forgetting it in isolation. It's how you set it up to like drown yourself or whatever, whilst trying to make yourself look good. Which ultimately is like the problem with the GTA thing. It's like I stopped playing the game called Grand Theft Auto because I had to commit a crime. Because you think that would make you look good, or maybe the next time the police pull you over to give you a speeding ticket in your cyber truck, they'll go, oh wait, you backed us on that tweet once where you said you couldn't kill us on GTA, even though we all play GTA back and we all kill each other. Like what the reason was, but from that section there, just kind of makes you go, yeah, of course. It's just the whole thing. It's just like a weird, gotta look this kind of way thing, and it's just he's a weird guy, and I don't know why people still love him. I guess the only way you could possibly just still love Elon Musk is if you're like Elon Musk and you have similar personality, I guess, or if you just don't use Twitter enough to actually see him tweet all the time and see stuff about him, and all you know is he's the guy who like sent the robot to those kids in the cave or something. I can't even remember. He's the guy who had the flamethrowers. That's how he got big from people knowing him, and he's the guy who apparently is like the smartest man in the world, I guess. I don't know who that's according to. He's the guy who is like the richest person in the world, and you know like he's the guy with the Teslas and stuff. If you just know those things, and you don't even really know what his voice sounds like really, because you just know really what, like, then fine, you're blissfully ignorant, I guess. What else we got here? There was something else. Oh, on the news, like this to me seemed like, it was like mildly funny. It seemed more. It was kind of like basically it was a news report. News people are really going hard in the paint at the moment. Those guys that seem to be dogs. Apparently, we didn't know. Yesterday I was talking about the 2 cheaters who cheated on their partners to be with each other. They were both news anchors, I guess, and then the parties who got cheated on then got together themselves. And now, like, basically, you know how the news starts? I'm not sure if it starts like this in every country, but in England it's very dramatic. It'll be like dun dun, and it'll like flash in, and it'll be like them looking like, crazy man did crazy thing, and then I'll say whatever happened, right? And this was like, she's like joking with someone behind the camera. She's got a middle finger up and she's like smiling like, oh, fuck you. And then it's like, oh, we're live. Oh, we're live. And then immediately switch into like somber or like serious type thing. And to me, what was more fun, it was not like, oh, she's putting the middle finger. But it kind of just reminded me in general that why do they even start like that at all? Like the arms on the table. Like, it was less that that this particular time she got caught doing it, and more just like, why are we even doing it at all? And also in like all these scenarios, it would anyway. I can't be asked. It's just like it was like I looked at it and I went, so that's that. Oh, that's finally happened, you know. But then people who tweet like, "Oh, this is the funniest thing I've seen all year." It's just like, you probably also like the clip of that kid saying he'll punch Santa Claus in the face, don't you? I don't know. There's just certain things that happen sometimes. I'm just like, that's just such a ick, which I know doesn't make sense because ick is a word for a specific thing. It's not relevant to what I'm talking about here. But like, it's a meme ick, you know. Which me saying that, that's also an ick for someone else, definitely. So I acknowledge that. But God, my voice is dry. I was at work yesterday and someone was saying, "Oh, my voice is kind of getting a bit scratchy," and I kind of thought, And then on the train home, I thought, "Oh, actually, I didn't even notice, but so is mine." So I felt like we both simultaneously got ill. Well, I'm not ill. Jesus Christ, I'm literally 99% okay. Slightly though, and the fear isn't that, you know, the fear is that it gets worse because we all like a sore throat is like, it's not actually like, I would technically I would say like, in terms of like low level just being like sick. So I'm talking about, I guess, headaches aren't great, but you can kind of like take some kind of tablet and just go to bed. I guess that you can kind of just skip it, like you can just fast travel like, or skip the mission and then you wake up and it's done. Whereas I feel like a runny nose, not like what I have right now, like, you know, there's a bit of snot up there. I don't know why that's horrible for people in the audio. But I'm talking about like when I have it, and I've said this before. This is This is not a spoiler. Sorry, this is a warning. By the way, I'm gonna actually start to trigger these things when I talk about gross stuff. But my snot is very fine. Okay, and I'm not sure if everyone. I'm definitely sure actually everyone's can't be like this. But when I get a runny nose, it's like it runs. It's so fine that it's, and so watery that it will run so quick that I can't stop it. I feel like most of the time it's not running down. You can go and then get your tissue and then whatever. For me, it's like 1 second, and within a second, it's down my face, and it's like, oh, and it's like embarrassing in conversation, or like, I don't know, in public. It just falls out. If I lean forward to pick something up, like, it will be dripping like a faucet, you know. And it looks ridiculous, but I'd rather just sit. I just stick tissue up my nose, like a proper, like, what do they call it? Man cold, when it's like you can't even handle cold, you get quick. But it's like, it's not like the runny nose. It's just like it's like having hiccups for me. It's not like a pain. It's not like, oh, I'm ill, I can't go to work. It's more just like, it's just very annoying, very annoying. The throat thing, it's more physically painful, I guess. Well, it definitely is, but like, it doesn't actually annoy me. Like, yeah, if you're trying to swallow food, that kind of has that uncomfortable feeling, and drink and stuff. But like, I've I'm very privileged actually in the sick department because I don't really get the whole flu thing. I've got a headache, a runny nose, and the cough, and and I feel awful. You know, like every hour I'll probably get like a runny nose a few times, blocked nose or whatever, and then your throat will get scratchy and it's like, I never have like the, when you're coughing and it sounds like you can hear the phlegm in the throat and it's like, it sounds like it's painful every time you cough, and it's just like, obviously, by the way, there is. I'm just like, oh god, I feel so sorry for those people. 90%, like basically everyone. Like, obviously, like, you could have cancer. You could have actually, like, oh no, that's actually, you really don't want to have that. I'm literally viewing just a cold as like that right now, which is kind of funny, but that, you get the point I'm trying to say. I'm like out of touch with colds. Is it possible to be like the way you can be like privileged, that you're from money and stuff, and you don't know how much minimum wage even is? Can you be privileged in like colds and stuff, like, you know, someone asks you like, how long do you think a cold lasts for? I don't know, like a couple days, maybe like 48 hours. It's like, fucking hell, you're so out of touch, mate. You've clearly never had a cold. I don't. I honestly don't get sick often, which kind of scares me because I feel like it's all gonna happen at once, one day, and it will kill me. Touch wood, I guess. I don't really do that. Although I did just touch wood, I really don't want a cold that would kill me. Like, if I got COVID, I'd probably die. I've never had it, I don't think. But if I did, it will kill me because it's just too much all at once. I feel like the good thing about getting sick and stuff is like it builds up your immune system in it. I don't know. This is all just turning into tangent, isn't it? Yeah. 292, I want to say this was. See you in 293.
With the kids, and they had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. He was like a hero.